This is Geoffrey C, and you're watching Baltimore Basics. I had known that WEBB AM was playing mixes from different jocks from the Baltimore area. And somebody came up with the idea, well, have you thought about submitting stuff to the radio? I hadn't. I said, In the meantime, we had another rival crew across the way. They were very good, loved those brothers. And they were going around to all the different parties and crashing. They're doing the same thing. Going, yeah, we're going to be on the radio, we're going to be on the radio, yeah, we're going to be on the radio. So while they were crashing parties and going, okay, we're going to be on the radio, I called the radio station. No way. Hello, who is this? This is Judge Max. Hey, this is Geoffrey, and I want to know how I could get my stuff on the radio. And so Chuck told me to work on 3 songs and submit it on a good quality cassette. So I did 3 songs on the pause button. See, Quavo Dancing by Fresh Face. Second one was Malcolm McLaren, Buffalo Gals. And the third one was Iceberg Slim, Don't Touch That Stereo. I did those 3. Went up to the radio station. I wasn't driving at the time, so I think my father took me up to the radio station. I had my learners, but met Chuck Max, and they listened to it, and they ended up playing Buffalo Gals on the radio. The significant thing about that was, and I remember the date, April 1st, Friday, April 1st, 1983 was my debut in radio, period. They played Buffalo Gals Friday afternoon. Why do I remember that date? Because it was April Fool's and no one believed me. Nobody believed me. Like, look, I'm on the radio, I'm on the... Yeah, it's April Fool's, come on, man. All right, yeah, right. But there were those who did believe me and listened to the radio. Well, it led to other things. It led to other opportunities. I started doing other mixes, and it just went from there. Here's the thing that kind of thrusted me into the next level. The cassette player broke. The cassette player broke. No! It broke. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I took the player apart, and I saw what the problem was. It was just a simple piece of metal that snapped in the cassette player, and I was not resourceful. I had no idea where to get that part. Said, well, I still want to be creative. And then I remembered my grandfather's old reel-to-reel tape recorder. The old Sony TC630 sitting there calling my name. So I set that up, plugged it in, and used that. And when I started doing things with the pause button on that, and then cutting tape with that, I found out it was easier doing mixes on a reel-to-reel, open reel, than a cassette. If I needed to go back and do something over again, it was easy to do. The visual was right there. I could just go ahead and mark the tape and mark the tape right back to where it needed to be, and then I would correct my mistake. And the mixes were much smoother. I had much more flexibility in doing mixes and songs. So wait a minute. And so that took me to a whole nother level in the flexibility and to be able to come up with stuff faster. And so with that, I could do more things, and I can do more tricks. And I started getting better at it as I was doing more mixes. So I put together a Peter Piper mix. That was a hot record on WEBB at the time. In fact, that was a hot record all over the place. Run DMC, I mean, you can't go wrong. Peter Piper, so I did Peter Piper on Real. And that went very well. Man, I remember the phone lighting up, and I was right there when they played it on the radio. Wow, just blown away. Followed that up with the Pump It Up mix. The Pump It Up mix was a collage, if you will, of various songs that were popular. My favorite hip-hop songs that were popular back in the day. And the funny thing is that the Pump It Up mix was something I started doing it because I really had nothing else to do. I was sitting there bored. I said, okay, well, let's go ahead and do that. What you gonna do? Gonna cut it up. What you gonna do? I said, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and get this record right here. Let me go ahead and get AJ Scratch. That's where I got Gonna Cut It Up. Let me see. Let's go ahead and get the Beastie Boys. Let's go ahead and get Trouble Funk. Pump me up. That's where that came from. You know, the Beastie Boys like pump it up, homeboy. And then I got the pump me up from Trouble Funk's record, Pump Me Up. So I pump it up, homeboy. I said, wait a minute. Okay, well, let's do something like this. Okay, in comes Columbia Records, Bow-Legged Lou. So let me go ahead. He had a little acapella on there, and that's when I did the introduction. And I made it up as I went along. That's where the jazz background came in, because with jazz, you have a lot of improvisation. In improvisation, you compose on the spot, you make stuff up as it went along. That's exactly what I did with the Pump It Up mix. You could not tell me. I could not tell you what I was going to do the next minute. I had no idea what I was going to do. I would just go ahead and cut a couple of songs in, go grab something to eat, and come back downstairs and make a few more songs. That led to landed a position on WEBB in '87. So I had a shift from '87 to '88, and then I went on to WPGC in '88. When I was at WPGC, I met up with a couple of folks. Eardrum from Tables of Distinction Record Pool, Dino Greer from Greater Baltimore Record Pool. They had record pool meetings. I remember going to Eardrum's meeting, Tables of Distinction Record Pool. And this is very significant in my career growth because they had local people there from different record companies. Columbia, Warner had a local branch, Arista had a local branch. They had all these local promoters, these local people coming in, speaking at the record pool meeting. And I was, still a kid, 22 years old, still a kid. But I didn't know the importance of networking at the time. I went to Eardrum's meeting, and we had different people talking, and somebody said, "You're in a record pool. You want to get records for labels. You want product from us. Help us help you."
Body rocket, hip hop, body rocket, hip hop, body rocket, doing it, do.